joining us. Welcome to the broadcast. Let's take a look at the counties in Murang'a specifically, where water wars are simmering yet again. Kahuti Water Company has defied Governor Wa Iria's call to halt their annual general meeting pending consultations with the county administration. Now, Stanley Mbichu brings us the updates from Kangema. Stanley, good afternoon. Why did the governor caution water companies against holding such meetings?
Well, Jesse, as you are aware, in very many years we've been having water wars in Murang'a and Murang'a County Government. Upon the establishment of the county governments, or rather, it is established under the Constitution, the national laws, that all water companies fall under the county governments, and as such, the services continue to be applied by the water companies. Murang'a itself has 5 water companies, among them Kahuti Water Company, Muwasco, Murang'a South, Gatamathi, and Gatanga water companies. And today, Kahuti is holding its 7th. Just said earlier on, the county government of Murang'a warned against this particular meeting because there have been a little bit of misunderstanding between water companies and the county government of Murang'a. And as such, at some point we saw the county government publishing a notice saying that such AGM meetings are not legal per their county laws. However, joining me now to give more clarification is the MD of Kahuti Water and Sanitation Company. Thank you very much, sir, for making time with KTN News Live. Could you clarify for the viewers and the people of Murang'a at large exactly why this particular AGM amid of warnings by the county government not to hold them?
Thank you very much. I want to say that we are holding this AGM because the law allows that we hold the AGM. It is a statutory requirement that as a water company, we hold AGMs every year, whereby we do give progress report to our stakeholders. And that is what exactly you can see we have had a very successful annual general meeting. We have held the elections. The Auditor General has given us a clean bill of health, and we are very happy about that. Otherwise, what I want to say is it is something statutory, and no law so far passed even by the county government has dispensed with a status as a company. We are still a company recognized in the Companies Act and with the memorandum and articles of association, which allow us or rather obligate us to hold such annual general meeting.
WASREB is a regulator to water companies in Murang'a. Has any statement forthwith come in regards to this particular AGM meeting? Are they in support or against this particular meeting as a regulator?
Okay, they have not talked about this particular meeting, although we have written to them. When we saw the notice in the newspaper, we wrote to them. But considering what has been going on there before with the other companies, they are not opposed to this meeting because there is no law actually that bars us from holding this particular meeting. It is something that is allowed in the Companies Act, in our memorandums and articles of association, which have not been changed, so they are not against it. And I also want to say, even when the county government tried to impose signatories in our bank accounts, WASREB came very strongly and said that companies are legal entities that should have their signatories, that should have their own accounts, and the only body that can change the signatories is a resolution by the board of directors.
Imposing signatures is a very hefty and a very serious allegation, sir. Have you perhaps pursued the same through court orders or perhaps through the courts or legal action?
No, we did not pursue through legal action because actually even the banks came out very strongly and say they cannot change the signatories without a resolution of the board of directors. So there was no need of going to court.
For the benefit of the viewer and the people of Murang'a, what are these particular laws in conflict? Because at some point we hear the water company saying there is no law at the county level that supersedes the national laws of the Water Act. What is this particular law that perhaps is bringing? Is it a particular law that is bringing this friction between water companies and the county government of Murang'a?
Okay, talking about the Water Act in Murang'a, in the first place, you'll agree with me that it was rejected by even the stakeholders because when they went around in all the 7 constituencies, in all the forums, it was actually rejected. But on top of that, it was in conflict with the law, with the national law, in very many particular areas, particularly in the Water Act. For example, the Water Act authorizes that directors should be elected by stakeholders. Now the Water Act, the County Water Act, talks of directors being appointed, and you saw them being appointed through a Kenya Gazette or something like that. So those are, and very many other areas that have conflict.
Perhaps what are your calls to resolve this issue that has always been recurring, the water wars between county government of Murang'a and the water companies? What is your resolution? What proposals do you have so that we can water down this, perhaps this friction?
I think what is needed is dialogue. And dialogue where we all sit down without some people thinking they are superior and they have an answer to everything. Let them listen. There are those of us and many others who have been in the sector for quite long. They understand most of these things. So let us sit down together and have dialogue on a one-on-one basis, and then we can resolve these issues.
Well, thank you very much. That is the MD of Kahuti Water and Sanitation Company giving out his views perhaps on why they are holding the AGM, calling it not illegal in their terms, but the county government says you are not supposed to hold this annual general meeting. There comes out the views from the MD of Kahuti Water and Sanitation Company. We'll be keeping an eye and touch on this development about the water wars in Murang'a and the laws that abide these two parties in this particular region in central Kenya. From Murang'a County, my name is Stanley Mbichu. I hand you back to studio.
Always a pleasure, Stanley Mbichu. Many thanks for informing us about the emerging water wars.